Chosen one, silence every distraction around you right now. That restlessness you have been carrying all day, the kind that makes it impossible to sit still, impossible to focus, impossible to feel at peace. I need you to set it down for the next few minutes. The enemy has been working overtime today for one reason and one reason only. He knew this moment was coming. He knew that tonight you would find this recording. And he has been throwing everything at you to make sure you arrived here too exhausted, too distracted, too defeated to receive what is about to be placed in your hands. But you are here, and that alone is not a coincidence. I recorded this message 3 times, 3 separate attempts before the words finally aligned the way they needed to. I want you to understand what that means. This was not rushed. This was not produced for the masses. This specific version, the one you are watching right now, was refined and refined again until it was ready for you. Fate held this recording in its hands and waited until tonight to release it. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, tonight. And it told you to watch it alone. Think about that. You are not watching this in a crowd. You are not half listening while someone else is in the room. Something in you knew to come to this privately. Something in you understood that what is about to be spoken over your life is between you and the divine and no one else. You did not find this recording by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here. The Most High did. This is a divine appointment that was scheduled before the foundations of the earth were laid, and you are sitting exactly where heaven needed you to be tonight. Stay until the very last second of this message, because in the next few minutes, I am going to hand you the legal decree that cancels the assignment the enemy has been running against your peace. I am going to walk you through the exact reason this message had to be recorded 3 times, and what that number means for your life right now. And at the end, I am going to seal everything that is spoken here with a declaration that closes the door on the version of you that has been suffering and opens the one God has been preparing. Do not click away. Your future self arrived here first. They are the reason this recording exists. I know what the last 72 hours have felt like. The atmosphere around you has not just been quiet. It has been thick, heavy in a way that does not have a simple explanation. Maybe you have been moving through your day on the outside, but completely hollow on the inside, doing what needed to be done, while something deep in your chest has been aching with a weight you cannot quite name. Or maybe you found yourself this week, sitting in a room full of people and feeling entirely alone, not lonely in the ordinary sense, but alone in the spiritual sense. Like no one around you can see what you are carrying. Like the warfare happening in your inner world is invisible to everyone else. You feel like you are in between who you were and who you are supposed to become, between the promise and the fulfillment, suspended in a silence that feels less like rest and more like waiting for something to finally break open. And in that silence, the enemy has been whispering a very specific lie. Listen to your own thoughts right now, and you will hear it. He has been telling you that the reason this message had to be recorded 3 times is the same reason your life keeps restarting. He is telling you that you are in another loop, that you are back at the beginning again, that every time you get close, something in you ruins it, resets it, sends you back around the same mountain one more time. He has been replaying a specific moment for you. Maybe it was a conversation this week where you said too much or stayed too silent. Maybe it was a decision you made when you were tired and now you are convinced it cost you everything. Maybe it was that moment when you walked away from something and you are not sure if it was wisdom or weakness. The accuser has taken that moment and built a courtroom around it. And he has been standing in that courtroom all week reading the charges against you. But I need you to hear what the scripture actually says about this moment. Nahum 1-9 says, "What do you conspire against the Lord? He will make an utter end of it. Affliction shall not rise up the second time." Listen to that. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. The enemy wants you to believe that you are cycling, that the heaviness you feel is the beginning of another long season of the same battle. But that is the lie. That is the deception he needs you to believe so that you sit down when you are supposed to stand up. You are not cycling, You are concluding. The reason I recorded this 3 times is the same reason your life has felt like it has been restarted. Not because you failed, because God was refining the version that was ready for this moment. The first attempt was not wasted. The second attempt was not wasted. Every lap you think you ran in failure was God editing the message until it was precise enough to reach you exactly tonight, exactly here, exactly alone. The heaviness you feel is not the weight of punishment. It is the weight of arrival. It is what finality feels like from the inside before you can see it from the outside. The cord has been stretched to its absolute limit, and the moment right before it snaps is always the moment that feels the most unbearable. You think the moment you walked away was the moment you lost. You think your silence was your disqualification. Let me reframe your reality right now. That was not a mistake. That was the 3rd recording. That was the version God was waiting for. And tonight, it is ready. There's something happening right now that goes beyond coincidence. The fact that you found this tonight, that you're alone, that it's quiet, that something in you said stay, that wasn't an accident. That was an appointment. And what I'm about to share with you has been waiting for this exact moment in your life. Some messages don't just inform, they activate. If something stirred deep in your spirit just now, you may be ready to receive the Chosen One's blueprint. This sacred guide reveals the 8 divine patterns behind your calling, your suffering, and your destiny. It also comes with the full audiobook, so you can absorb it during prayer, rest, or quiet moments with God. And for those called to speak His truth, you'll also receive Activating Your Prophet Mantle, a powerful bonus ebook for those carrying a prophetic assignment. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now let me tell you what's really going on. Most people who are stuck, genuinely stuck, not lazily stuck, not carelessly stuck, but deeply, frustratingly, painfully stuck, are not stuck because they lack effort. They're not stuck because God forgot them. They're stuck because they are carrying a weight they were never meant to carry, and they've carried it so long they've stopped noticing it's there. They've made peace with a prison and started calling it home. Imagine a bird that has lived in a cage for so long that it forgets the sky, that it begins to believe the bars are its natural boundary, and that the chirping of other caged birds is the only song it can ever know. And the most dangerous moment in any person's life is not when they're suffering, it's when they've gotten comfortable in their suffering. It's when the ache becomes a familiar companion, and the possibility of change feels more terrifying than the certainty of the pain. Think about the man at the pool of Bethesda. 38 years by the water, so close to the breakthrough, watching others step into what he needed, and yet immovable. He was like a ship, anchored perpetually in shallow waters, watching the grand vessels of answered prayer sail out to open sea. And when Jesus came to him, the question he asked was not, "Do you need healing?" The question was, "Do you want to be made well?" Because Jesus already knew what most people miss. There is a version of staying wounded that feels safer than the risk of becoming whole. Wholeness requires you to walk. Wholeness requires you to leave the mat. It demands you shed the familiar cloak of infirmity and step into the unknown territory of vibrant health and full potential. And leaving the mat means you no longer have an excuse for where you are. It means you can no longer point to the circumstances, the limitations, or the past as the sole architects of your present reality. That's the hidden barrier, not the wound itself, the identity that formed around the wound. It's the subtle narrative we weave, the story we tell ourselves about who we are based on what has happened to us. Like a tree that grows crooked because it was forced to bend around a rock in its youth. And even when the rock is removed, the tree retains that shape, believing it is its natural form. You've been so long in the season of waiting, in the season of being overlooked, in the season of almost, but not quite, that some part of you has started to believe that's who you are. The one who almost made it. The one who tries but doesn't quite break through. You've become a connoisseur of near misses, an expert in the art of just falling short. And every time a door opens, something subtle in you finds a reason it won't work. It's like a self-sabotaging sentinel, always on guard, always finding the crack in the foundation, the faulty wiring. Every time someone believes in you, something quiet in you waits for the betrayal. It's the echo of past disappointments, a phantom limb of pain that still twitches. Not because you're broken, but because you've been trained by pain to expect more pain. And that training is running in the background of every decision you make, every relationship you enter, every dream you dare to reach for. It's the subconscious operating system that dictates your every move, whispering cautions and forebodings. But here's where it goes deeper. The barrier isn't just psychological, it's spiritual. Because the enemy doesn't need to stop you with a dramatic attack if he can simply keep you in agreement with a lie. Agreement is more powerful than opposition. Imagine trying to push a boulder uphill. It's exhausting. But if the boulder is already rolling downhill, and you simply agree to walk alongside it, to nudge it in a certain direction, the effort is minimal, but the destruction is immense. If he can get you to agree that you are too late, too damaged, too ordinary, too forgotten, he doesn't need to fight you. You'll fight yourself, and you'll do it efficiently, thoroughly. With great discipline and consistency, you'll sabotage what God is building before it ever has a chance to stand, and you'll call it being realistic. You'll present your self-imposed limitations as mature prudence, your resignation as wisdom, and what's coming next will likely surprise you. It always does. Because the lie I'm talking about isn't the obvious one. It's not "I'm worthless." Most people have grown past that. The lie that's working against you right now is more sophisticated. It sounds like wisdom. It sounds like discernment. It says things like, "I'm just being careful. I've been hurt before. I need to be sure before I move." These are the subtle whispers of fear, cloaked in the robes of prudence. And none of those things are wrong on their surface. They are valuable principles when applied correctly. But when they become the reason you never fully commit, never fully trust, never fully release yourself into what God is calling you toward, they're not wisdom anymore. They're fear wearing wisdom's clothing. It's like using a shield so defensively that it prevents you from ever picking up a sword, even when there's a battle to be won. And fear dressed in wisdom is the hardest chain to break, because you keep calling it a virtue. You praise your own caution, mistaking your stagnation for stability. Now, once you understand that, you're ready for this. The transformation doesn't begin with more effort. It doesn't begin with a new strategy, or a louder prayer, or a longer fast. Those can be tools, yes, but they are not the ignition. It begins with a single, honest moment of recognition. The moment you stop pretending the weight isn't there. The moment you stop defending the narrative that's been keeping you small. It's like acknowledging the ghost in the room, not to be afraid of it, but to see it for what it is, an illusion, a shadow. Because you have been the narrator of a story that was written for you by people who could not see you clearly, by rejection, by disappointment, by the ones who left, by the ones who should have stayed, by the versions of yourself that formed in the fire before you had language for what was happening to you. These were not authors of your destiny, but transient figures who left their imprint on your soul, and those narrators have had the pen for too long. This is the real turning point, not the decision to change, but the decision to author, to take back the pen, to look at every chapter of your life, the humiliation, the isolation, the delay, the doors that closed, the relationships that ended, the prayers that seemed to echo off the ceiling, and instead of asking, "Why did God allow this?" to ask, "What was God building in this?" It's a profound shift from victimhood to victory, from asking "Why me?" to asking "What for?" Because Joseph didn't understand the pit while he was in it. He didn't understand the prison while he was in it. He saw only betrayal, injustice, and despair. But when he stood before Pharaoh, he had a fluency, a depth of character, a tested wisdom, an unshakable identity that could only have been forged in exactly those places. The pit wasn't punishment. The pit was preparation disguised as abandonment. The prison wasn't a dead end. It was a crucible. And until you can see your own pit that way, you will keep mourning what was actually shaping you. You'll lament the very fires that were meant to refine you. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share next is the part that breaks the cycle. Because most people get to this point, they understand the preparation, they accept the process, and they think the work is done. They think the insight is the breakthrough. But insight without action is just spiritual information. It's like knowing the map, but never taking the first step on the journey. And the enemy is perfectly comfortable with you being insightful. He is comfortable with you being the most spiritually aware person in the room, as long as you never move. As long as you keep consuming revelation without ever releasing what's been deposited in you. Because you were not chosen just to receive, you were chosen to transmit. You are a conduit, a vessel meant to overflow. And the thing God placed in you is not for you alone. It never was. It's a seed meant to be planted, a light meant to shine, a message meant to be spoken. Think of Esther. She didn't enter the king's court for herself. She was brought to that moment not as the culmination of her own story, but as the turning point in someone else's. She was the key that unlocked the salvation of an entire people. And Mordecai's words cut through every layer of fear and comfort and reasonable caution. Who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Not maybe, not possibly. For such a time as this, the specificity of that is staggering. Not a random time, not a general season. This time, your presence in this moment is not accidental. It is architectural. You were designed for this specific intersection of history and need. You are the answer to a prayer that has been whispered through generations. And yet, there's something beneath even that. Because Esther still had to choose. The divine appointment doesn't override the human will. God doesn't override your fear. He invites you to walk through it. He doesn't erase the feeling. He empowers you to act in spite of it. And this is where so many chosen people stall. They wait for the fear to leave before they move. They're waiting to feel ready. They're waiting for clarity so complete that risk disappears. But that's not how this works. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something matters more than your fear. It is the brave step taken when your knees are trembling. And until you decide that your assignment matters more than your comfort, that the people waiting for what's in you matter more than the risk of being seen, you will stay on the edge of your own breakthrough. Forever, almost crossing over, you'll be standing at the precipice, looking at the promised land, but never taking the leap. But let me challenge you with something, because this is the part no one wants to hear. The delay in your life is not entirely the enemy's fault. Some of it, a significant portion of it, has been authorized by your own unhealed need for approval. You've been waiting for permission from people who do not have the authority to grant it. You've been seeking validation from those who are themselves seeking validation. You've been editing yourself for audiences who were never your destination. You've been performing for the wrong crowd, tailoring your true self to fit their limited expectations. You've been shrinking in spaces that were too small for you, not because God placed you there permanently, but because some part of you decided that being accepted in a small space was safer than being misunderstood in the space you actually belong in. It's like a magnificent eagle choosing to nest in a chicken coop because it feels safer amongst the familiar clucking. And the validation you've been searching for from people, it was never designed to, because what God put in you cannot be confirmed by anyone who has not seen what he sees. And most people around you cannot see what he sees. Not because they're bad, because they're human. And human eyes have limits. They see the surface, the history, the current presentation, but they don't see the divine architecture. This brings us to the real turning point. The breakthrough you've been praying for is not going to come from outside you. It's not going to come as a circumstance that finally changes. It's not going to come as the relationship that finally stays, the opportunity that finally opens, the person who finally sees you. Those are often byproducts, not the source. It's going to come the moment you stop outsourcing your identity, the moment you stop waiting to be chosen by the room, and start walking in what heaven already declared over you before the room ever formed. You are not waiting for your moment. Your moment has been waiting for you. It's a divine rendezvous, an appointment scheduled in eternity. And the only thing standing between where you are and where you're called to be is your willingness to believe what God said before the world had a chance to say anything else. It's about aligning your internal truth with your external reality. And here's the part you probably didn't expect. The thing that has been blocking you isn't the enemy. It's not your past. It's not the people who hurt you, the doors that closed, or the years that felt wasted. Those are all players in the story, but they are not the ultimate antagonist. The thing that has been blocking you is your own unspoken belief that you are the exception to God's promise, that everyone else gets restored, everyone else gets their moment, everyone else gets to walk into what they were made for, but you, somehow, are the anomaly, the one for whom it doesn't quite apply. It's the subtle whisper that says, this promise is for them, but not for me. And that belief has been so quiet, so deeply embedded, that you've never said it out loud. You've prayed around it. You've worshipped around it. You've read scripture around it. But it's been there, like a root beneath the surface, poisoning the soil of everything you try to grow. It's the hidden root that prevents the fruit from ever ripening. And I'm telling you tonight, that lie dies here. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel stronger. Tonight, in this quiet, in this appointed moment that fate brought you to, that lie loses its hold. It is exposed. It is disarmed. It is defeated. Because you are not the exception. You are the evidence. You are the proof that what God begins, He finishes. That what He anoints, He protects. That what He calls, He equips. And every scar on your life is not a sign of abandonment. It is the signature of a God who was there, in the fire, refusing to let you be consumed. Each mark tells a story of His presence, His protection, His faithfulness. They are not blemishes, but badges of honor, testament to His enduring love. Place your hand on your heart right now and speak this with me. I release every lie that was never mine to carry. I release the identity that was shaped by pain instead of purpose. I release the need for permission from people who cannot see what heaven sees. I am not the exception to God's promise. I am the evidence of it. Every delay was preparation. Every closed door was protection. Every season of silence was formation. I step into this moment knowing I was not brought here by accident. I was brought here by appointment. I am seen. I am chosen. I am equipped for exactly what I was made for. And I walk forward now, not when the fear leaves, not when the path is fully clear, but now, because the one who called me has never once failed to complete what He started in me. It is finished, and I am ready. If this message met you where you needed to be met tonight, don't let it end here. Share it with the one person who is alone right now and needs to hear this. And if you feel called to go deeper, into the patterns, the purpose, and the divine blueprint behind everything you've been through, everything you need is in the first pinned comment. This was not an accident. Neither is what comes next.